The Sonic fanbase has been a discussion for some time now. Some years now. The reactions and speculation of these fans are diverse, expressive, and often spontaneous. In this video, I'm going to let you know why this is, and my thoughts by means of reason and fact.
Everything's a memory with strings that tie to you.
Why was Sonic created? Well, see, Sonic was definitely a product of his time. A cool attitude was the way to go, and to no surprise, cool is what made the series what it was. I mean, just look, the color blue, the pop culture references, the pop culture music, and we would eventually get guitars in the 3D games. All I'm saying is, whatever Sega thought would work, worked, and Sonic became a gaming icon because of how relatable he is, right? Sure, the gameplay was there, I mean, come on. But the character is what carried the series. What if Sonic was a plain gray rabbit thing? The game would be just fine, just not cool. And we don't know that for sure, but I'm sticking to that. Basically, with the series so different from its competitors, you usually expect some feedback, and sure enough, Sonic grew some fans. Note that in 1992, the Sonic fanbase wasn't nearly as massive as it is today. The only true fans Sega had to rely on were the people who bought Sonic 1. That's the thing about sequels. You're catering to new people while keeping your fanbase satisfied. Times were so different back then, weren't they? Sonic vs. Mario, goofy cartoon shows, and the gaming world wasn't quite diverse like it is today. The main complaints you got from Sonic were, "This isn't a Mario, the stage is too hard, another game over." That is until Sonic 2 finally released, and holy crap, a spin dash. Ah, the spin dash, probably the most recognizable move Sonic has. But the spin dash wasn't the only big factor in Sonic 2, no. It was also the dash panels, or boost panels, I have no... See, this meant a breeze of fresh air for Sonic. New stage elements, new gameplay mechanic, new character? Yeah, Tails is kind of a big part in this Sonic fanbase thing, but anyways, I'll get back to him. As Sonic began to grow even more, sequel after sequel, TV show after TV show, comic after comic, the fans really started showing their colors. Like any franchise really, the more you grow, the more feedback you receive. Simple stuff, but what makes Sonic different is... well, him. Because the series was always trying to compete with Mario, Sonic the Hedgehog was supposed to be that face, that icon. So as a result, we got games like Sonic Shuffle, we got games like Sonic Drift, genres that Mario already sort of perfected. So where am I getting at with this? Fans that stayed loyal to the Sega brand and or Sonic generally stuck with Sonic. Now, if more people preferred Sonic Shuffle to Mario Party back in the day, it's up for debate, but I'll tell you right now, only one of those got a sequel. Try like 10. The Sonic fanbase remained loyal to their blue savior, and while always recognizing the competition. After all, by the end of the classic era, you had a lot to choose from, some being pretty odd and obscure. Despite the view strong Mario fans had on the Hedgehog, Sonic's review scores were still solid for the main titles. And as expected, the feedback overlapped. So far my points have all been common sense, right? The bigger a franchise gets, the more feedback it gets. I get it. Well, with the new abundance of characters, media, and obviously games, the Sonic series realized what it could do for the time and tried very hard to run with it. Hard enough to keep the competition going. What came with this was a risk that changed Sonic's perception forever. 3D. As you all should know, Sonic Adventure was a huge turning point for the Sonic series. Hardware not being exposed enough, gameplay that was too distinct from a typical platformer, and new character designs. That's a lot of things to complain about, and to this day, is still a debating topic. If you look at it this way, Sonic was a cool character. Sega wanted to prove what their cool character could do. We got so many ideas and staples in the series, it seemed our progression with Sonic was always present. Mario could do whatever because of how easy it was to join this fanbase. Because let's face it, Mario has no personality, he's not really relatable, his gameplay is what sells. Super casual, fun, family titles, right? The audience didn't exactly connect with Sonic the same way they did Mario, and that left Sonic sort of awkward. With all of the build-up I mentioned earlier, there were tons of elements to like and dislike about Sonic, and when he went 3D, that was just the icing on the cake. Some Sonic fans didn't know what to make of the series. It came off as too experimental, and too much. Keep in mind that we're also getting these new PlayStation franchises in the mix, like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, and Tomb Raider. Throughout the years, Sonic's titles were receiving great review scores, but you could sense that somewhere out in the public, it was stable to think of Sonic as outdated and sort of irrelevant. There was just too much to complain about, and the idea of a blue hedgehog competing with Mr. Video Game himself was becoming silly. At least that's what we're taught to believe, right? Well, obviously, Sonic remained iconic. Games definitely sold, and the series kept going. It was clear at this point that Sonic fans had to accept change, because critics were clear to point turn out otherwise. This leads to a huge part in the Sonic fanbase. Critical bias, believe it or not, began with Knuckles' inclusion in Sonic 3. Sources pointed out that a third playable character would be too much, and that Sonic should keep a small cast. It's true that Sonic characters are very controversial, but to predict its effect on the community is... man, Sonic was always given us something to like, and little did we know, each game risked something in order to please everyone, in order to get a reaction out of everyone. After seeing games like Sonic Heroes, Sonic Riders, Shadow the Hedgehog, and Sonic 06, it was obvious. The Sonic series was in a cycle. New Sonic game releases, the critics give their criticisms, Sega replies to the critics, the fans react to both Sega and the critics. That is usually the case with video games, but with all of the added concepts, characters, changes. Being a Sonic fan took a lot. Just look at the newer games. Totally different gameplay styles. Sonic is getting new fans every day, so it's going to be really difficult for them to adjust to what you and I liked back in the day, creating this never-ending conflict of what Sonic should be. It's never going to end, and the Sonic fanbase will always suffer because of mediocre, diverse content. No, I can't speak for everyone, can I? A lot of people ignore all of this stuff and judge a game on their experience. But there's no denying the critical bias. There's no denying our responses. Why do we like Sonic? Because he's cool. Because he's not Mario. Why do we hate Sonic? Because there's too many options. Which should be a positive, but it's so easy to make it an issue. Simple psychology. As fans, we want to see what is not there, so we adjust our minds to make a game seem as perfect as we can. We don't see opinions as basic because of the facts that we've been exposed to over the years. Sonic is cool. Sonic is us. We try to keep believing that. We were the ones exposed to mediocrity. We let Sega do the things they do. We voice our thoughts on the internet in hopes of getting similar opinions. We believe that we are shaping the series. We think we know what Sonic is supposed to be. We don't know what we want.
I do.
Wait, what?
This is Sonic, and the truth is, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you.
Me?
Well, everyone. My past adventures really showed what I could do. And so my recent ones. I've done so much to entertain you guys that I can't help but just feel thankful. What's so funny?
It's the voice. I can't really take you serious when
it's
you
my
talk
voice.
Like that. At least
How
that's
am
some
I supposed
emotion
to
with
sound?
it. Come on,
See,
Jaleel
that's
White
the thing
got
with
that
you
right.
Sonic
You sound like
fans.
that Pizza Hut guy from
You
that
can't
commercial
really
I saw
accept
last
change,
week.
can
It's
you?
pretty
I
similar.
get
You
older
sound
and
just
you
like...
know what?
Sorry. I totally agree though. By no means am I saying that I'm immune to what was said in the video. As a Sonic fan, I construct opinions just like any other person.
The way you look at me may be different from someone else. So please try to understand that, guys. I love my fans and I hope that you all love me for what I give. Even if you do disagree with a few things here and there.
Heck, I might as well answer this. Why does the Sonic fanbase suck? Why do we get all the crap, the bad reputation for such an iconic character? Well, I think we're alright. With all the complaining, just know that there are facts to back it up. Heck, a lot of what I said proves it. We're just a group of fans that want our opinions to get noticed, to get accepted. And when they don't, we react like savages. We react the same way that we wouldn't want to be treated. It's kind of funny actually, looking at Sonic Boom, I'm wondering what will come from it. Having been with the series since birth, I finally realize how it thinks. Just gotta watch kids grow. Just gotta support what you got. No harm there. Just know that we took part in making Sonic what he is today, and there's a lot to choose from out there. Me? I'll stick with my favorites. But I know you have yours. I hope a lot of you took what I said and fully understood every point. And let's keep this thing moving, alright? Cool.
We're blasting through with Sonic speed!
Why even say that? It was so irrelevant.
Nothing I say is irrelevant, Sammy.
Steven. My name is Steven.
Steven?
As in Steven Nux.
So you're not the raging kid the internet has been talking about.
That's not me,
well, I wouldn't
swear.
know. It's not like you said your name in the video.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Hello everyone, it is I.
Everything's a memory with strings that tidy